Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll do a boxing prediction. I'll do Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko. So Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko. This is a fight that's been, long coming. Even though it's like Devin Haney's still like 26, 25, still a very young dude. It seemed like, it's different. It's different sports. Like, MMA, you see like a lot of times these bigger fights happen when they're like in their 30s. In boxing, you start to see these younger fighters have, well, it's not new. Back in the day, they used to be, their prime, they used to fizzle out in their 30s, like early 30s. MMA, the prime is in their 30s. So, yeah, but, recent eras, probably like the prior era to this era. I feel like this era is actually fighting the best sooner. As opposed to the era that's like right before them, like they would kind of wait into their 30s or late 30s to fight these big matches. But you still got that going on with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Like, you got the best guys. Like, why y'all not fighting each other? Y'all getting close to that, tipping over that mid-30s mark. This fight should have been happening. And I don't think no matter how y'all drag it, ain't going to turn to no big super fight. Like, I mean, it's going to be a super fight, but yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Let's talk about Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko. Yeah, with this one, I'm going Devin Haney. I'm going average confidence Devin Haney. I feel like Vasyl Lomachenko definitely warrants an average confidence. You can just go high, maybe lock here. Maybe. But, Vasyl Lomachenko is a very underrated fighter. Especially, you might say, he's still in the pounding, but you got people like, what's his name? Inoue, who like pound for pound number 2 and on some list number 1, and like who he really beat. His best one is old Nonito Donaire. And given that stuff, there's some other people that's in the pound, and how they, just because you lose a fight, now it takes away the fact that you have covered up and actually beat some real solid fighters and, better fighters in better divisions. He did the same thing, but in better divisions. So, yeah. But I'm talking too much. The prediction-wise, I'm just going to get straight to the point. Vasyl Lomachenko is a very solid dude, but I think the fact that he is a smaller guy, he got a young stud that still hasn't really even hit his peak yet, and Devin Haney, which is scary. He's only going to get better and better, but he's bigger. Might actually even have the speed advantage over Vasyl Lomachenko. Bigger, younger, way less mileage on him. He don't got 900 amateur boxing matches. So way less mileage on him. Big, young. Been studying him. Been wanting this matchup for, we said, like 3 years already. So he's been already anticipating this matchup. I know Vasyl Lomachenko has been anticipating this matchup. But I feel like at this point, Vasyl Lomachenko's hand is kind of drawn to take this matchup. Like, he's at a point where his clock is ticking. So he's like, I got to get these big fights to, further my legacy. So that's a good and a bad thing for him. Like, his age is getting up there. He's starting to somewhat decline. You got Devin Haney, who's only on the uptrend right now. And just to get, again, to get to the point, I think, Devin Haney's, I'm just going to say, in my opinion, not in my opinion. Like, obviously, he's bigger, he's younger, obviously. Speed, that's up for the debate, but I will give him the speed advantage. I think he's more defensively sound. I feel like Vasyl Lomachenko, he kind of has a, unorthodox style, and when you're unorthodox, that does leave openings more because it's unorthodox. Like, you're doing unorthodox offense, unorthodox defense, and stuff. Like, he got good footwork and stuff. He's very crafty. He's very slippery. But at the same time, you can get somebody off beat. You can catch them in the midst of being creative, is the best I can say it. You could catch them off balance. And I'm not saying that Vasyl Lomachenko has bad balance, but when you're naturally creative and you're doing stuff like that, you will be off balance at times. Even Floyd Mayweather is unorthodox sometimes. I mean, he's an unorthodox fighter in some sense. He made a style tailored to his own strengths and, his own strengths, weaknesses, whatnot. It wasn't like this a pure textbook boxing at all. I mean, some things are fundamental, but it wasn't definitely not just a pure fundamental, just straight out of a textbook boxer. And really, none of the great fighters truly are straight out of the textbooks. When you really look at most of the great fighters, they all have their unorthodoxness to them. But I feel like Devin Haney can use his physique, his youth to really bully Lomachenko out there in a lot of these inside positions. Then I feel like a distance, he can use his jab, use his speed to really just get Lomachenko off his game and start to just outwork with his jab, outbox him, be faster, be quicker, and use his youth and use his physique to his advantage. And I did use that youth physique, that size, that length on Lomachenko, and beat him to the center. Devin Haney's not really no big puncher, so I don't see a finish happening. Lomachenko has got some finishes, but I'm picking Devin Haney, so it don't matter what Lomachenko do. Lomachenko definitely has potential more to finish this fight, but again, I just neither of these guys are very big finishers, especially with Lomachenko obviously having come up several divisions. The more you come up, the really your finishing rate will drop. So really finishing on his side is not the highest likely outcome either, but more so he has a higher finishing chance. Whereas Devin Haney, this could be his chance to make a big statement, but I don't think it's gonna be Lomachenko be the first guy where he starts to make that shift turn into a finisher. It's probably be maybe when he starts to get around 30, he can get that grown man strength. But right now, it's probably gonna be just a decision for him. I think it's a very competitive fight, probably some close rounds, but I start to see him come on more as the fight goes on, and I think he puts on, he starts to take, really separate from Lomachenko in the later rounds and beat him by decision. But yeah, again, posing that youth and posing that size and posing that length, and he might not have power, but weight is power in its own way. Like you might say, oh, he's not dropping nobody, but you could feel the power, just like Mayweather, like to an extent. I'm not saying he's Mayweather or nothing, but just like Mayweather to an extent, his punch might not be a knockout puncher, in his later career, but even heavier guys like Canelo, you could feel his power. It's going to register. It still hurts. It still stings. It probably still rattles your brain. It might not knock you out. It might not drop you. It might not make you wobble most times. But like I say, you saw him, hit guys that have taken big shots and still have effect, like Cotto. You seen Canelo, Pacquiao. Even Pacquiao, Pacquiao was kind of hesitant, like to start feeling some of his powers. Mosley said that him and Pacquiao got around the same amount of power, but it's just small little things that can switch a fighter from a knockout artist to just a decision fighter. And the punch is still gonna be heavy. They still gonna hurt. They still gonna sting, and he's still gonna have the weight of he gonna have the weight on his punches of a heavier fighter when he's going in with Lomachenko. He's gonna make him feel that weight of those punches a lot, and definitely gonna have a heavy jab. Probably gonna work from the body heavily. Kind of similar to Lopez did against him. And yeah, again, pose the weight and pose the size. Use that youth, use that speed, and beat Vasyl Lomachenko to a decision. So in this one, I have Devin Haney via decision.